We all have gone to school before or are about to start, but did you know that your school might be haunted? Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay safe. Have you ever been in class, bored, and then your teacher called your name? What if I told you that wasn't actually your teacher, but a skinwalker or an entity? This will help explain clouds.
If you ever sit down for an exam and the paper is written in a language you cannot recognize, except for the title at the top, Happy Holly Tree, you are not in your world anymore. Forget the exam, you failed it. Follow these rules. 1. Do not try to escape the classroom. Trust me, you do not want to attract all the attention. The hallway loops either way, this place will lead you back here. 2. Do not try to talk to anyone in the room. It's an exam, have some manners.
If this happened to me, I would fail instantly, because I love talking to my friends, even during test.
Besides, they are not human, and they might start to realize that you are. 3. If your pen starts moving on its own, do not interrupt it. Let it finish. Whatever it writes is your next step, even if it makes no sense. Especially if it makes no sense. 4. If the fire alarm goes off but no one reacts, stay perfectly still and breathe slowly. The alarm is not for them. It's for you. They can't hear it. It went off to make you panic. Good luck.
That's so scary. Imagine going to school to study, but the whole class starts chasing you instead. Don't forget to count your steps, or you might just start running in a loop around the school. That's so crazy. When you go to school, do you walk, take the bus, or get driven by your parents? If you said that you take the bus, be very careful, as a lot of kids are going missing on the bus right now. Watch out, or you might be next.
7:30 a.m., 11 kids got into their school van, and they never came back. This is a true story. It happened in Mexico, 2017. The van drove off like it always did. Nothing seemed unusual, until the van didn't return. Parents waited. They thought it was traffic, or maybe a delay. But then the school called. Van never showed up. Not a single child was marked present. Every phone was off. Police began searching. At 11:42 a.m., they found it. A yellow school van, parked on a foggy back road. Engine still running. Doors wide open. But inside, no driver, no kids, no backpacks. Just one thing left behind. A torn teddy bear inside Amina Delgado's school bag. The windows were scratched. From the inside, over and over. The same word. Help! There was no sign of struggle. No blood. No damage. Salim's record was clean. His family was confused. Terrified. No ransom call. No CCTV. No leads. 3 months later, a boy named Mateo was found in a town hours away. Alone. His head was shaved. His eyes blank. He didn't speak for weeks. Until one night, he whispered, "The van took us somewhere." And then he said, "It's coming back."
Wow, that bus is still somewhere. Even if they say it's in Mexico, it can literally be anywhere around the world. Be careful, especially if you are a kid, or you might be their next victim. When waiting for the bus, make sure your parents are with you. We have all seen bullies before, and nobody likes them. But did you know? A girl in Japan got bullied so much that she became a school monster, as they are very mean and annoying.
Was bullied by her classmates at school. To escape the bullies, she hid in the bathroom, and was later found deceased by her classmates. The toilet was then sealed by the school authorities, as rumors spread that the toilet was haunted. It was believed that if you entered that toilet, the ghost of the Japanese urban legend Hanako would appear in front of you. Before you could react, her spirit would grab your face and pull you into the toilet.
Oh wow! Imagine if you are a new student at the school and don't know anything. So you go to use the restroom and then boom, a head pops out of the toilet. But imagine you were sitting down and that happens. You will die. That's so scary. That's why you should always check the toilets at your school, or you might be the next victim. Have you ever been sitting in class and fell asleep before? Well, this is one of the most dangerous things you can do. This video will explain everything.
If you ever fall asleep in class and wake up to find the room empty and the halls silent, you're not in your school anymore. And do not assume you're alone. You're not. You must listen carefully. Here are the rules. 1. If you see a teacher standing perfectly still at the front of their room, staring aimlessly forward, do not enter the classroom or make noise. This is not your teacher, nor is it human. 2. You might hear someone knocking from inside a locker. Do not open it, even if they beg, especially if they beg. 3. The intercom may turn on and call your name. Do not respond. It does not know where you are yet, but it wants to. 4. If you ever come across a hallway that seems to extend on forever, do not take that path. It's a trap. Now you know what to do.
Clouds, this is so scary. I fall asleep every day and I never knew there was a chance of this happening to me. If I was in this situation, I feel like I would just start crying. But now we know we should all avoid this. Everyone watching this video loves their mom. However, the person that sounds like your mom might not even be her, but an imposter. Let's watch this.
In 2009, a teenage girl returns home from school and heads straight to her room, quietly closing the door behind her to discuss date plans with her boyfriend over the phone. Before long, a knock interrupts her. "Remember to keep the door open," her mother calls from the other side. Annoyed, she rolls her eyes and mutters, "Whatever," before stomping over and swinging it open. An hour later, her mother calls from the kitchen. Dinner's ready. Still irritated, the girl brushes off the request and opens her laptop to watch a show on Netflix. As the familiar theme song plays, she leans back in her chair and tries to relax. Suddenly, a dinner plate is hurled from the kitchen, crashing onto the hallway floor. The sharp sound jolts the girl as her mother's voice calls out again, this time unnaturally loud and twisted. "I said dinner is ready." The girl pauses, glancing down the hallway.
Mom,
She calls out, her voice trembling. No answer. Hesitating, she walks down the hall, her heart racing with each step. As she enters the kitchen, everything seems normal, except for a note left on the counter. She steps closer, and her stomach drops as she reads, "Hey sweetie, I got called in for a night shift and won't be home until tomorrow. Call me if you need anything. Love, Mom."
This is why you should always be extra careful. And make sure to talk to your parents after school. And not avoid them, as it could secretly be a skinwalker. Have you ever been home after school and start feeling weird and start getting dizzy from your homework and chores? This video explains what to do.
if you ever see an unsettling face in the window of your neighbor's house, do not panic. You are no longer safe in your home anymore, and you must follow these rules to survive. First, do not look at the face again. Every time you glance at it, it gets closer. Second, if the neighbor calls you or knocks on your door, do not answer. That is no longer your real neighbor. Third, ignore any knocks on your windows. Do not even try to see what is outside. Fourth, if your neighbor texts you, do you see it too? Delete the message without replying. Fifth, if you accidentally fall asleep and you wake up tucked into your bed, run outside your bathroom and close your door immediately, no matter how tired you are. In order to escape, you must first go to the basement of your home, which will look unfamiliar to you. Entering the basement triggers the entity, so you must barricade the stairs with large, heavy objects. Sit in the corner of the room and say "run, run" to yourself 92 times to escape. Good luck.
All of these backrooms horror videos always scare me so much, because if I ever saw this, I do not think I would survive, as it is too scary. The best way to avoid this is by doing your homework early and getting a lot of sleep. I found another disturbing incident. We need to talk about. This one is called the skin case. So once, there was a sailor, and he noticed something strange in the river. When he got close, he realized it was the skin of someone's body, which is so disturbing. This video explains it well.
This is considered one of the most shocking cases in Polish history. On January 6, 1999, a sailor in Poland noticed something strange floating on the river. It was long and pale and it smelled very bad. And as he leaned in closer to get a better look, he saw an ear attached to it. Now, what I'm about to say next is very disturbing, so be warned. After the sailor found this substance, DNA testing then indicated it was the skin of a missing woman named Katarzyna Zawada.
That is actually so sad. I wonder how this woman went missing. Let's keep watching.
And whoever did this to her turned her skin into a suit and was likely wearing it. So at this point, only her skin was found. Until January 14th, when pieces of her clothing and one leg was found also in the river. 17 years later, 52-year-old Robert J. was arrested for this. He previously worked in a dissection lab, meaning he was skilled in preparing animal skin. And he allegedly also knew the victim. As of October 2022, 23 years since the victim was found, Robert J. is still awaiting trial. As he remains in custody, investigators are allegedly gathering more evidence to solve the case. Follow for more.
This is so disturbing. Like, what do you mean they were wearing their skin? How could someone do such a thing? I recommend you all to not search up pictures from this incident, as it is so sad. The next incident was actually from a K-pop star, which means K-pop might be very dangerous. Let's keep watching to see what happens.
The dark story behind
the tile incident.
You might not know who is this guy, right? His name is Tile, and he is a K-pop idol from the group called NCT Dream. You might be shocked what he did. Basically, Tile's a 12-year-old girl, which means Tile demanded that the 12-year-old girl reveals her to him. He messaged only young girls and wanted to seize girls and wanted it to take a picture and sent it to him.
This is probably the most disturbing and disgusting thing I have heard today. I can't believe a K-pop star this big would do something like this. Never talk to random people you meet on the internet. Clouds.
But some of young girls said that it's illegal and doesn't want to send it to him. And I think that 𝗂𝗂𝗯𝘀𝗀𝗃 and 𝗂𝗏𝐿3D them. The people were shocked of what 𝗂𝗂 did. So people begins to destroy 𝗂𝗂's photocards and his pictures. And SM, the CEO of the company, kicked 𝗂𝗂 out from NCT Group. He's in jail for this. So please girls, keep your safety with you. And by the way, we don't know who was the girl, or what happened. There's no CCTV footage, but I think it will reveal it soon.
It is very good that he was kicked out of his group and sent to jail, but I feel so very bad to all the little girls. He did bad things too. I would never let kids near a man like this in my life. If I ever see this man, I would throw my mom's slipper at him. This next incident was very popular on TikTok a couple years ago because of how disturbing it was. Let's watch this explanation.
Let's talk about
could someone do such a thing to an innocent cat? I have had over for cats and I love all of them so much I couldn't imagine doing something like this.
Rest in peace.
I can't believe anyone would do this to their own pet. That is so cruel, and he needs to be locked up for the rest of his life, not just 15 days. The fact he was laughing is also very sick. If you want to know what the guy looks like, this is his face. This last incident is probably the creepiest one of them all, so you have to watch to the end. You can't miss this.
Explaining incidents, part 2.
Fire breathing incident.
This man was from USA. He is known for breathing in fire, which is his talent. But one day something tragic incident had happened during the show. During his performance, he was lighting up a fire on a torch or whatever it's called and putted it in his mouth. But then he accidentally swallowed some of the fuel. After it, he then burped and the fire was under his stomach.
This sounds so horrifying. I would never want this to happen to me.
After just 1 second, his stomach and body exploded, and the people who was watching him perform thought it was part of the acting, and his body parts went on people's faces. Later on, his head was found on the popcorn machine.
You all, if I went to the show, I would be screaming my lungs out in the crowd, because that is way too scary. Please, do not try to find any videos from these incidents. Don't forget to like and subscribe by my clouds.